cars and they all black. Got 4 bras and they all that. We call that ballin'. Doing this is my calling. Flow is so appalling. My phone.
What's up? I'm Sal.
I'm RJ. This is Dos.
And Tres. So this week, I'm just going to get into a freaking rant. We're going to get into a rant.
Yeah, this is a serious topic.
And that's the suspensions on the Cowboys. Like, what the freaking hell? This defense cannot learn from each other. Every week, it seems like somebody else is getting suspended. DeMarcus Lawrence, David Irving, freaking Randy Gregory, and now Damian Wilson getting into trouble.
No one cared what got that DW. Even though they drafted a young cornerback, you know, he's gonna play a role.
They brought him onto the team to be a veteran presence because they needed that with Scandrick. So everybody fits into this. It's just so disappointing. Like, and I've been thinking about this. You know, you could say that we were spoiled because look, I'm wearing this jersey. DeMarcus Ware, the best defensive player in Cowboys history, but he set the expectation as a fan growing up and watching him. The dude never got in trouble. He was always a class act, and guess what? He was always the best player on the field too. And none of these guys have lived up to that. They've spent high draft picks on them. They spent money on them, and they just cannot provide anything for the team except for smoking weed, and it's super freaking disappointing.
And I'll get into the 94 that the guy shouldn't even be wearing, he shouldn't have on, or he's not even wearing it, is Gregory. I don't look, this is probably going to be a little touchy topic or whatever, but I honestly don't give a shit because you as a person, when you're a football player also, you have so much opportunity every single day in life. And when you have the ability to just provide and play for the Cowboys, wear that jersey right there, that is an absolute legend. And you're saying that I understand cannabis it has its ups as far as for health or whatever and stuff like that. But when you have everything in front of you in life to be able to sustain and to be able to provide for your family and stuff, what goes through your mind exactly? What exactly do you say to yourself that says, I need this? You don't need alcohol, you don't need weed, you don't need any of that. It's all in your mind. You have the power to be able to say that, man, the upside of this, being able to play for the Cowboys, wear the 94, do all of this stuff is so much better than risking everything for weed that's gonna make you feel better for a little bit. But that's my, like, I don't get it.
The Cowboys have invested so much in Randy Gregory. I mean, we're going to go on this as a case-by-case basis. Every player situation is different. But anyway, for Gregory, they invested a lot of time and money. They spent a second-round pick on him. They brought in Charles Haley, who overcame his struggles as a player, to kind of mentor him. He's just thrown all that to the side and said, you know what, screw that.
But one thing about Haley, he wasn't a dumb guy. Gregory does, you know what, now that I think about it, he does really seem like a dumb guy. So, and we're not trying to make fun of anybody or anything here. It's just reality about it, man. Just, you know, we're young, we're 22, 23. I mean, we've done stupid stuff, whatever, maybe not nothing like that, but you know,
you gotta understand what the worth of your time is,
exactly.
And the worth of your life is, the worth of your family, and
when you have the opportunity that you have right there, I don't see what it's. I don't know. We're not the smartest, but then again, we're not the dumbest. Whatever, we understand. We're able to get it. That's why we're talking like this.
I guess it's just like the fans' perspective, as far as, you know, people would give anything for that opportunity to be in that situation, and then these guys just throw it away. And we'll get more into the mentality of that. But going on to David Irving, he showed a lot of potential last year, and with his situation, it may be stupider because what he did is he sent a supplement that he was promoting and was going to take. He sent the list of ingredients to the NFL, so he had to know what was in it, and there was a banned substance in it. He took it, promoted it, and boom, there's a suspension. Like, how do you know or not know what's going into your body and then get suspended for it? I mean, and then with what's going on with your teammates over the last couple of years with Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence, that one was just like, okay, come on, guy. Like, someone's got to be advising you of what's going on.
First of all, I can provide like a 15% leeway to Irving here, just because the company, when you're a company as yourself, you got to know what you're giving to your players. Because if you're going to want players besides Irving or whoever it is to continue to promote and be able to have an athlete like that, you got to know what you're giving your players and stuff like that. So that's my other perspective as far. I still think the same thing as he, but that's my other perspective as far as looking on another side of things. Like, what kind of company are you? Like, come on.
DeMarcus Lawrence, like, I know the dude's been going through injuries and he's probably been taking things that he thought was gonna up the recovery process, but dude, you gotta understand fan, you're an NFL player, and you play for the Cowboys. Everything you do, everything you think is going to be scrutinized. They're going to know every single thing about you. So getting suspended, and now he's probably going to try and go all out this year because he's going for a contract. So why can't you do that every year? Just focus on your job and what's at hand.
Yeah, if Lawrence balls out this year, hell, I ain't complaining. He gets that big contract, whatever, as long as it leads to a Super Bowl run this coming season. So as long as he helps out that, you can do whatever after this year, but as long as you play balls for the wall this coming year, even after the suspension last year. The great thing about it is, though, not the great thing, but silver lining, I guess you could say, is as long, like, Lawrence is obviously the most talented defensive lineman that they have. Obviously, Irving has a lot of upside, but right now, Irving is the most talented defensive end they have, because I still think Malik is probably the most talented defensive tackle they have. But the defensive end is Lawrence, and luckily, so far, he's not suspended.
Yeah, and he's coming off another injury this year, so who knows what he's trying to take to get. Maybe he learned his lesson. Hopefully he did. But going into the next guy, which is the most recent one, Damian Wilson, the details came out, and this is the mentality side of it all. We got into Gregory. The dude, he's a lost cause. I don't know why they haven't cut him yet. That's the one that frustrates me the most.
I'll say he's a coward, because he said coming into the draft, after they drafted him, the team who drafted me isn't going to have to worry about me off the field, and the teams who didn't are going to have to worry about me on the field. What?
Now going to Damian Wilson, the dude got into an altercation and was charged with aggravated assault, 2 counts of it. So what happened was he was going to a soccer game apparently on the 4th of July, and there was a parking spot where some people took over 2 spots, and he wanted to get into the spot, and they started going back and forth, and then he just reversed into the spot, and apparently he hit a woman, and then it escalated from there. Tensions are gonna rise. You just hit my girlfriend, my wife, whatever. And then he drew a gun, and in all that, that's when the police got involved. We were talking about it. Let's just say it's the worst case scenario. These people are making racist comments to you, whatever. But at the end of the day, they're just words. Every day people get told stuff. You got to realize who you are, what you could be able to provide for everyone in your situation. And then also, I get it. You're young. He's around the same age we are. You're young. You're full of confidence, probably to the point of cockiness, because guess what? I'm an NFL player and I got this money. I can do whatever the hell I want. But no, you're still a citizen. You're still an employee of the NFL. You got to understand these things that you can and cannot do to be able to be on the field.
And July 4th is just the date that I hate in between, from a football perspective, in between OTAs and before the start of training camp. It's just one of those days and one of those nights where you're not going to want to get the notification in the morning. Like, shit, like, damn, what's going to pop up on my phone this morning? Nothing better pop up. And the next day, what popped up? Damian Wilson, freaking aggravated assault, 2 counts of it, and arrested, whatever. And it's just like...
It's always the summertime. This big gap where these players, they just can't stay focused on what their job is. And I get it. Football is tough to be committed to it all the time, but it's not tough to be committed to being an upstanding citizen all the time, because people do it every day. And, that goes back to Nolan Carroll. He got in trouble on Memorial Day, so he didn't set a good example for the rest of his teammates, and he's supposed to be a veteran. And
Carroll is a guy that, he's going to be that veteran presence. He does have the ability to play really good. Eventually, we're not really worried about that, because they drafted rookies, and you know what, they're going to need to play. Shinobi and Jordan and Xavier, those guys in the secondary, they're going to need to play. So you know what, if Carroll does get suspended, whatever, you know what, our rookies are going to play, so screw it.
But it just continues the culture on the defense of suspension after suspension, and it's not a good look. The Cowboys are the laughingstock as far as suspensions and getting guys that have criminal past, and you see the memes and they're funny and all, but if the Cowboys just continue the culture, what the hell is going on and behind the scenes? What's going on in the locker room that these guys aren't getting, the structure that they need, the relationships that they need to build with their teammates, to where they can think, hey, you know what? These guys, I'm here to work for them. I'm here to work for the team. I'm here to work for my family. And I'm not putting anything on Sean Lee. Sean Lee is a great player, a leader, but sometimes I think maybe he's more of a leader on the field as far as a vocal leader rather than in the locker room. And I'd just like to see somebody step up on that defense that can be the guy that says, you know what, you guys are idiots. You need to step the F up and, be a man. Take responsibility for your consequences.
Yes, somebody just needs to just stay,
for your actions.
Have them all there and just pause a second and just look around. Look what's in front of you. Do you really want all of this gone? Do you really want to throw all of this away? And you know what, even after you tell guys that, some people, they still won't get it. And you know what, that's fine, because then that's a lost cause, and you know what, you really can't do anything about it.
Because at the end of the day, especially with the young guys, you've shown nothing like that, you're gone. So right now you have something. Cherish that, hold on to it, and write it out. You know, there's some of them are just throwing it down the drain.
I've seen Jason get asked the question when Irving's suspension did come out, and they asked him, what is it that causes like this to happen now again, like for the past 3 or 4 years now? I could tell Jason was kind of like pissed off or mad, like, you know, like I mean, I don't know, it just, I'm pretty sure his word, you know, I don't know, it happens. I mean, he really didn't answer the question or anything like that. He was just basically saying like it happens, like he didn't want to talk about it or anything like that. And I'm not going to blame Jason for any of this, or people will say, oh, Jason needs to do this, Jason needs to do that. No, these guys need to do this, these guys need to do that, these guys need to take responsibility for themselves, because at the end of the day, Garrett is a coach and he can try to help him out as much as he can. Jerry is the owner, he can try to help him as much as he can. Hell, he helped Dez so much out throughout his career, as far as even co-signing on a house for him. And they've tried to help out Gregory before, but there's only so much you can do for a person until you just gotta let go. As far as cutting somebody or anything, I don't think they should cut Carroll. I don't think they should cut Wilson. I don't think they should cut Irving, because at the end of the day, you're gonna need everybody. But a guy like Gregory, you just need to let him go.
And that's what I was gonna say as far as the cuts go. Like, whenever you get to the point where you've given all these guys the resources that they need, and there's no responsiveness, there's no improvement, then you just gotta make the example clear that boom, he's gone. And that's what should have been done with Gregory, and they didn't reinforce that with the signing of Greg Hardy. And this goes back to, you know, a couple years. They've just have not been reinforcing that since DeMarcus Ware left. They've just been signing guys to try and fill a void. And I get it, you want to win football games, but you got to do it with the right guys too. So make an example, set an example, and start being more tough on these guys. I know Jerry Jones, he's always trying to get the next guy that he can revive, but sometimes these guys aren't revivable.
Your best ability is your availability.
And these guys aren't available. So that was our rant. Probably not as coherent or as knowledgeable as some things we usually do, but this all comes from passion. Like, whenever you see your team just have guys completely just going off the rails, like some new guy getting suspended every single week, it's disappointing.
If I'm guys like Malik, Taco, Hitchens, and Chidobe or Jordan, I'm screw it, you know, more opportunity for me to play, I'm gonna go make the most of my opportunity. So whatever.
All right, well, that's pretty much it for this rant. If you like this video and you want to see more, subscribe at Dos and Tres on YouTube. And if you want to be a super subscriber and get notified anytime we post a video, go ahead and hit the bell next to the subscribe button.
And follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Dos and Tres YT. We'll see y'all later.
Peace.
That's it. Fuck Gregory.
Okay, it's rap pack to my pulse flat. We keep it real, no false rap. I got 4 cars and they all black. Got 4 bras and they all that. We call that ballin'. Doing this is my calling. Flow is so appalling. My phone off and she calling. I'm like, yeah, what it do? Penthouse, man, what a view. Fall back cause I'm coming through with my whole team. They coming too, that's real.